Internet! Hello!
My name's Daniel Ward, and you're watching another episode of Dr. Horrible's Sing-Along Blog Vlogs.
I'm Benjamin Rexroad. I am the artistic director of Heads Up Productions, or one of the artistic directors. I handle all the business stuff. I basically handle everything. And my partner TJ, well, he gets to have the free ride of, I'm the artistic director, without doing much. Actually, that's a lie. He acts, he edits Who Are, which Dan just got finished recording a Heads Up Arts radio interview, otherwise known as Who Are. And we actually talked about these blog vlogs.
And the show.
So
you should listen to that, because it's really informative. More informative than my own blogs.
Yes, this is 16 now?
This is 17, I think.
17? Better, it was more informative than all 17 of the blogs combined.
That's very true.
Why, Dan?
Well, I really don't know. Basically, we shoot these at the end of rehearsal every night, and I'm like, what do we talk about? Let's talk about what we did. And then we talk about what we did, and then we're like, it's not really interesting. We should do something interesting. And then we try to make it interesting, and then, I don't know, it just kind of falls into chaos.
But what's the most interesting thing you guys have done at rehearsal?
The most interesting thing that we've done at rehearsal, I wish we had on camera, we had Claire and Tyler do a improvisation where I was like, hey, Claire, get this from him. Hey, Tyler, don't let her get that from you.
Yeah, you mentioned that on one of the vlogs, I think. You talked about, or they talked about how she was going after a date and he was saying no, which is weird because is that how it works in the show?
I needed to give her something to go after, something to do. So the way that it's playing out is that, yes, they both want a date. But what's stopping them is that they are so socially awkward that they just, don't know how to go about doing it. And she's actually the more forward of the two. She's like, come on, do this. But she won't actually do it herself. She won't be like, hey, what are you doing next weekend? She tries to get him to ask her, hey, what are you doing next weekend? And he's too reserved to do that.
So, and is that how she ends up getting hammered by Hammer?
That's how she gets getting hammered by Hammer. The way that we have this right now is that she doesn't really want Hammer. We've decided that he smells. I don't think we told Hammer this. Hammer, you smell. We've decided that he smells. He's a complete douchebag.
I mean, that's one of those actory motivations, right?
Right. And so it's like, she really wants Billy, and she's like, well, if this isn't working, maybe I can make him a little jealous. So she tries to make him a little jealous by going out on a date with Hammer, and ends up getting hammered by Hammer somehow.
So Dan, why don't you tell your viewers when the show is going to happen? Why haven't you done that this entire freaking interview, or this entire not blog interview thing, but blog
especially
process.
The first one,
the first one
where we have 70 views and 12 people are going to see this one,
right?
Because I knew when we were going to do it, but I didn't know the money situation, if we were going to charge, how that was going to be. I knew that Dr. Horrible had to be for free, but we were just figuring out some other things. So the way this is going to work is the shows will run April 5th, 6th, and 7th at 8 o'clock. The house will open at 7:30, so get there early because we have a lot of people coming to see it and not a lot of seats. We have something like 80-ish seats and something like 91-ish people who have said that they are going, and another 60 who are maybe on Facebook. And there are people who aren't on Facebook or aren't said that they're going on Facebook who are going to go. So come early if you want to get a seat. Also, it's free with a $6 suggested donation because doing theater is not free.
Well, technically, you're doing theater for free.
Well, I mean, yeah.
But producing it, props, all of that kind of stuff, it costs money.
So, yeah, give us money. Please. Also, because it's such a short show, and we wanted to give you guys a full evening, we're having the Theater Guild's own improv troupe, On in 5, perform an approximately 1 hour show. There will be...
Is it going to be short form or long form improv?
It's going to be both. They do both short form and long form. So they first do, some short form games, and then they do some long form.
Interesting.
So then we'll take a 10-minute intermission, and then we'll start Dr. Horrible.
Wonderful.
So come see that.
Come see that. Check out www.headsupproductions.net. Check out the interview that I just did with Dan. It should be right on our homepage. You can search... If you're totally lost, there's a button that says Heads Up Productions. If you're still lost, scroll to the bottom of the page, and there's a search bar where you can search anything that you want. So you can search Dan Ward, and it'll bring up the episodes that Dan Ward has been mentioned on, which was episode 33 with Directing 101, and this episode that we just did, which is episode 49. And Heads Up Productions is about to launch a whole new thing for episode 50, so... You won't be able to check... Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah, you won't be able to check that out until May 7th, which is when it's launching. But it's going to be awesome. We're doing a whole new format. We're going to do... The interview is going to be a shortened period. We're going to do music spotlights. We're going to do tastings around town. We're going to do this whole thing where it's more like NPR instead of just a 30 or an hour-long interview. So...
Cool.
It's going to be a whole different thing. So check that out, May 7th, but also check out Dan's interview, which will go out Monday, May 26th. So, check it out.
All right. Well, thank you, Ben.